There was a moment after the final whistle that typified Everton's performance at Old Trafford. A bloody-nosed Jake O'Brien stood, breathless, beside the center circle, and David Moyes darted about with raw and passionate joy, congratulating his players after their 1-0 win over Manchester United. It was a tenacious and draining display, the kind that Toffees fans love, that steeliness of spirit that is so typical of a Merseyside club. Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall was all passion when he wheeled away in celebration after a sweet finish into the corner before half an hour had been clocked. His weak-footed wonder would prove the match-winning strike. However, the highly charged emotions were twofold, and Idrissa Gueye found himself dismissed before that point, having been adjudged to have slapped none other than teammate Michael Keane. Everton's enthralling response to Gueye's red card. It looked set to be a long and grueling evening for Everton after Gueye was dismissed in the first half following an altercation with his own pal Keane. The dismissal was harsh, but the spat between the two Blues was needless. Gueye will miss Everton's next 3 matches due to violent conduct, and he will leave for a sojourn at the African Cup of Nations after the new year. Even so, Everton responded with the kind of vim and vigor Moyes craves. This was a Herculean performance. The visitors leaving the theater of dreams, having willed their way past Ruben Amorim's lagging side. Dewsbury-Hall was the man of the moment, but Jordan Pickford's imperious goalkeeping helped matters, for sure. But this was a massive collective effort. Dewsbury-Hall the goal-getter, but flanked by hard-working Jack Grealish and Iliman Ndiaye, supported by determined Keane and commanding captain James Tarkowski. One man trudged off the field during the closing stages, having failed an individual objective. But then this Moraine Fellaini-esque Everton star also showed so much promise against a Red Devils backline who struggled to contain him. Moyes' new Moraine Fellaini. It's been a testing start to life in Liverpool for Thierno Barry after his £27 million move to Everton for Villarreal this summer. But he's probably put in the best performance of his campaign so far against Manchester United's backline. The center forward was hailed by one scout for being very close to clicking, with his energy and enthusiasm offering shades of Fellaini, who became the most expensive Belgian of all time when joining Everton for £15 million, their club record buy, from Standard Liège in 2008. It took time and experimentation for Fellaini to find his feet, but once he did, he became a monstrous box-to-box force at Goodison Park, and Barry must take a leaf from the retired star's book and continue to knuckle down with a continuation of performances like this one at Old Trafford. Fellaini featured 193 times under Moyes' wing-across stints at Everton and Man United, making him the 14th highest appearance maker in the Scotsman's managerial history. Barry won't likely play as many matches in the veteran coach's system, but that's not to say the summer recruit cannot forge a long and prosperous career for himself on Merseyside, carrying Moyes' schoolings right through that Everton career. He didn't score against Man United, but the 23-year-old was full of life and bustle, with SofaScore recording that he won 14 aerial battles on the evening. That's the highest amount of any player in the Premier League this season across a single contest. Moreover, Barry made 3 ball recoveries, 2 clearances, and provided an outlet all evening, taking a stride forward towards cementing his place at the front of the ship, even though he hasn't yet broken his duck. The Liverpool Echo handed the French striker a 7 out of 10 match rating, but the truth is that he might have enjoyed a higher score after such a battle-ready performance, never easing against United center-halves while demonstrating slick movement throughout. Moyes went ballistic when Beto squandered possession late on, brought on in the closing stages for freshness and physicality. The established number 9 has done his chances a lot of harm this season, and Barry is beginning to show that he has what it takes to nail down a regular starting spot in this system. This striker is full of potential. He didn't actually manage a shot at Old Trafford, but impressed nonetheless. The goals will come. He's talented and willing to learn. Bonus, there's something almost Fellaini-esque about his aerial prowess and willingness to get stuck in. Moyes will be delighted.